Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, great, great. So let's begin today's session. Yeah, so back and neck straight. Just gently close the eyes. Start observing your breath. The natural flow of the breath as you inhale and as you exhale. And relax the mind. Keep the body relaxed. We're going to go for slow, long, and deep breathing now. So when you feel ready, you can begin to deepen your breath. And prepare yourself for chanting in 3 times, followed by 3 shanti. Exhale completely. And now inhale for Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Just feel the vibration. Very slowly and gently join both the palms together. Rub both the palms. Place them on the eyes. Very slowly while blinking and looking at the palms. Open up your eyes. Come back with a big smile. Namaste to everyone. Let us begin today's session. So, today our topic of discussion is three gunas, the three cosmic qualities. Okay? TRIGUNAS, trigunas. So in when we were discussing about food, when we were talking about food, we had uh, touched upon these three qualities, and today we are going to go in depth about all these three qualities. Okay, so it is as per yogic texts, especially Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita, or you must have heard just Gita, just they call Gita also. So that book, okay, okay, yeah. So in that book, you find the mention of the three qualities of nature, and over there it has been said that all the things that are created in this world are subject to the influence of these three qualities. Okay, so every thought, event, everything, your actions, everything is influenced by these three qualities. Okay, so they have their own characteristics. Each and every one of them have their own characteristics, and you can actually identify which one you are in, and you can actually work upon shifting to the most favorable one. So this knowledge, so the knowledge of the three cosmic qualities will help you to be aware of which one you are currently in, and it will, once the awareness will come, you will automatically want to shift to the most favorable quality out of all, out of the three of them. Okay, so this has been talked of in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Let me write this down. Okay, BHAGAVAD, Bhagavad Gita, Gita, chapter 14. Okay, so in this chapter, Krishna mentions the three gunas, and before, like like all of these things, like Arjun is in a very big conflict. So most probably next class we'll have on Bhagavad Gita only. Then I'll elaborate on the story. But he's in a big conflict in that situation, and step by step, Krishnaji is trying to explain that, Arjun, you have to do this thing, and he is not able to understand that. So all the 18 chapters talk of different ways in which, he's trying to tell him that, this is your duty and responsibility. So there are 18 types of yoga in Bhagavad Gita until the 14th chapter. As they reach the 14th chapter, Krishna ji tells him about the three qualities of the cosmic nature, and he says that a yogi aims to rise above all three of them. So he is a person who is free from the all three qualities, all the influence of these three qualities. So not the three qualities in themselves, but the influence that they create upon us. A yogi aims to be free from that influence. So as long as all three of them are functioning, they are going to pull you in one direction or the other, depending upon their quality. And when they dominate, okay, whenever they dominate, that quality will start dominating in. But the yogi wants to be free of all these three. So his aim is to rise above them. And then he describes the quality of the yogi who has risen above them. So that is how the whole chapter is structured. So the first quality that we have, as we have discussed also, sattva. Yeah, sattva quality. Then we have rajas, and then we have tamas. Sattva, Rajas, Rajas, and then we have Tamas, Tamas. Okay. So Sattva is considered to be, I'll start with the first one, Sattva, quality, is considered to be the highest of all three of them. So whenever you find yourself in Rajas and Tamas during the day, then try to shift your focus towards Sattva. Sattva will not lead you to your final goal, but it is a step-by-step process. So after you reach Sattva, your main quality during the day is sattvic. That is when your mind is most engaged in spiritual practices, and hence you will be able to transcend all three of them. Okay, you have to be free from sattva also after a particular point of time. So sattva is something, it's considered to be the highest quality of all three. Then the color white is associated with this quality. So you must have seen in a lot of places, like a lot of spiritual places, people generally prefer to wear white. And the reason behind it, it's because white is the color which is considered to be very close to sattvic quality, or it represents sattvic quality. Okay, so when you feel white, you must, I don't know, if you have experienced a sense of peace and calmness that you must have experienced, or whenever you see something which is white, you instantly a feeling of purity, a feeling of peace is triggered in the white. It's not just the guru which is emanating that energy. The way in which they dress up also, it emanates that energy, and that is what white overall represents. So if you feel you want to be more aware of this thing, then whenever you wear white, start becoming aware of that thing, because once you are aware, you will uh, normally come back to sattvic quality. Okay, so if I'm wearing white and I become aware of the white that I'm wearing, my mind will connect. Now your mind will start associating, because I've mentioned this thing. Yeah, you can turn your space into you can surround yourself with white things. So suppose if you can, if you are planning to repaint the space you are in, so you can make sure that you paint it white, so that you know it's a constant reminder. Or if you don't want to go for something so drastic, you can just add certain things in your room which are white, which will automatically give you a sense of peace and calmness. Yeah, so try to increase the presence of white in your room, or the space you are in, the place where you spend most of your time, or at least the place where you practice yoga. That is where you can add this thing. It will help. I'm just mentioning all the qualities, so you guys can write this down. Just write sattva, and now you can write down the qualities. Said purity, so it's pure. Sattva is pure. It represents like a very loving type of energy. So it's loving, caring. Happiness is generally associated with sattva quality. Then we have wisdom, peace, illumination, harmony, So the person who has sattvic quality, his or her body would be very healthy. Okay, so the person is healthy and the body is free of toxins and disease. So this is like a physical check for you. When you're in sattvic quality, your body will be free of toxins and disease. The state of mind will also be very quiet, and the thinking will be very positive. And overall, you will have a tendency to, be in spiritual practices a lot. So, spirituality in such a person is very, very high. Okay. So, this is your first quality, and you have to aim to get here. Okay. Food also over here, you can write for food. Food, like I said, sattvic food is easy to digest. It gives you a lot of energy. The diet will also be, as per this thing only. So before I move to the next quality, let me tell you this thing that, like in therapy classes, you must have heard of Vat, Pitta, and Kapha. You must be studying these in detail. Uh, Trigunas are also um, something similar to Vat, Pitta, Kapha. In what sense? Let me tell you this. So, like ma'am would have told you that Vat, Pitta, and Kapha, they are dominant. One thing is one of them is dominant. So, same thing you will see with Trigunas also. During the day, each and every one of them will take their turn. Okay. And in general, you will have one tamas, one quality you will resonate with a lot. So that is your general like quality. Okay. So overall, like we have either we have Vath personality, Pit personality. We have sattvic traits. Either we are more into that category or Rajasic or Tamasic. This is something you will understand once I tell you all the qualities. And another more dominant. So, in that point where ma'am has discussed the personalities, but if she has, you would have seen that uh, apart from Vat Pit Kapha, there is a combination of generally two that is present in a person. Generally, when we see two qualities are present. Same happens with trigunas. Generally, you will be a combination of either sattva rajas or rajas tamas or sattva tamas. Okay, so any combination can also exist. Okay, so during the day, what happens is when you wake up in the morning, sattva is very dominant. So that is why morning time is given a lot of relevance. Morning time, it is generally said that morning time is good for meditation, good for yoga, good for anything that you have set your mind to. If you give that time in the morning, it's going to be very fruitful for you because at that point of time there is no duality in the mind. So next time when you wake up in the morning, or if you wake up late, one day try to wake up early. I check this thing that when you wake up early in the morning, your mind is generally very calm and settled. So whatever direction you want to give your mind, like at that point of time, you will see that it is easily engaged in that thing instead of putting a lot of effort, like we do throughout the day. So anything that any goal or if you are a student, if you're studying, so anything that any goal or if you are a student, if you're studying study or any goal during the morning time will help you to achieve it faster, will help you to add more value to it, because there is no noise around you. One thing, when you wake up early in the morning, most of the people, they are sleeping, at least in your area. Most of the people, they are sleeping, right? So if you wake up early in the morning, there would be no environmental sound around you. So no vehicles moving, people are not there. So there is no noise also. External noise is also not there. Internally also the mind is very stable at that point of time. It doesn't have the tendency to be busy or to run away very easily. So meditation is also a very good practice to go ahead and do in the morning. Okay. Then what happens is, as the day passes, we reach the Rajasic quality, which is generally associated with activity. So after you wake up, and in ancient times in India, in the Gurukuls, from 4 a.m. till 8 a.m., students used to have all their classes, and the classes would finish, and after that they used to go into karma yoga, or the activities which the guru used to give them, take care of the gurukul or anything. All the active things used to come in after 8 a.m. So that is when the rajas quality starts to dominate. Activity in the body increases and the mind increases, and that is when you will also generally see that office timings are also sometimes designed in such a way that after 8 a.m., after 9 a.m., offices also start, because that is the ideal time for us to work, because the body is generally active during that time. Okay. So there's a lot of activity. So your daily earning or your studies, not exactly studies, but activity, the task which requires a lot of like physical activity is generally favored during this time. And then by the night time, what happens is, so sattva also comes in between. Tamas also comes in after a particular point. When noon hits, around that time we start feeling a little bit sleepy, so tamas then starts to dominate. Okay. So some tamasic quality starts to come in. You feel sleepy, you feel tired. So that quality where the mind becomes dull, that starts setting in. Then again these switch. Okay. So by the night time, what happens is tamas becomes very dominant. Okay. And that is when you go to sleep. So that is why people who go for night duties, they generally fight this general tendency of the body, because naturally the body is tuned to wake up in the morning, go ahead, do all the tasks during the day, and then rest at night. Apart from scientific reasons, I'm telling you this reason, that the tamas quality dominates during the night and it's associated with sleep. Okay. So let's move to Rajas quality now. So during the day, also keep checking yourself, the state of mind you are in, how your body is feeling. You can understand which guna is dominating. Okay. So Rajas is generally, uh, you know, um, associated with passion. Okay. So if somebody is really passionate about something, their Rajas quality is very high. And not only the passion doesn't come without emotion. Whenever I say the word passion, there is a lot of emotion that is generally, you feel when you hear this word. So it is followed with intense attachment, and there is a lot of desire. Okay. So whenever I say that a person is very passionate about something, there is generally a lot of attachment that comes in. And because there is so much attachment, the person has a tendency to suffer a lot. So suppose you are passionate about something, or I am passionate about something. So if that thing doesn't happen as per the plan, or something is up, down, plus one, minus one in that thing, that is when the person who is in the Rajasic quality would get very disturbed because of this thing. Okay. There is a lot of sorrow and suffering caused because of this. And the color that is generally associated with Rajas is red. However, some people believe that any color apart from black or white is associated with Rajasic quality. So all the colors that you see apart from white and black are associated with Rajasic quality. And a person who has Rajasic tendencies will be very restless. You would have seen a lot of people who just while they're sitting, their legs are moving, their hands are shaking. So at that point of time, at least at that point of time, Rajas has started to dominate. There is a lot of movement, activity. Yeah, it could be in the mind also. So it's not necessary. So like people who generally move their feet or their hands are like never stable. So at that point of time, the body is just reacting to the state of the mind. The mind must be very restless, so it's not able to handle it to the body. There's it's supported by the movement in the body. Then the ego is very high. Okay, so if you ever like come in contact with a person who is solely Rajasic in nature, so there is no mixture of qualities, solely Rajasic in nature, you will easily be able to identify that the ego is very high. For food also, like we discussed before, heavy to digest, and you know very spicy food would come into the Rajasic quality of food. And how can we work on Rajas? So we need to shift to Sattva, right, during the day. So whenever Rajas dominates, you can work on it. So right now what is happening is there is a lot of energy and activity. It just needs to be channeled in the right direction. So you can go for practices like self introspection, swadhyay, like we have discussed before also. So self introspection is highly preferable for a person having Rajasic qualities. Then the concept of seva or service is also very helpful. If they are very active, then they should devote their energy towards such activities. Then uh, also, sorry, how they can work on it is through the practice of Ishwar Pranidhan or surrender to God. So these are all when you go into Bhakti Yoga, these are very prominent practices going into Seva, going into Ishwar Pranidhan. So they are basically directing their energy towards some good work. So it helps them to surrender the ego, surrender that attachment. Okay, so let's move to the third quality, which is your tamasic quality, tamas. This has been, Krishnaji said that this is the lowest of all. So this is the least preferable quality. And it arises due to ignorance. So what will you see in such a person? You will see that, you know, there's a lot of lethargy, laziness. There's a lot of delusion in such a person. It is um, such a person would be very apathetic. And also, like I said, it's associated with sleep. So the tendency of this person to would generally be to sleep a lot. So some days even we don't feel like waking up, right? So when the alarm goes off, we put it on snooze again and again. That is when the tamas quality has started to dominate you. You don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to get up and get things done. Whatever is important for you. So the tamasic person isn't even able to do those things because there's so much lethargy. Also, this is um, the color that is associated with tamas quality is black. So, darkness. Basically, whenever you uh, think of this quality, a lot of darkness comes into mind because it's associated with black. So if you're wearing a lot of black, you will see how your body is changing, how your thoughts also change as you wear black, or if everything around you is black, or suppose you're sitting in a dark room. Um, your state of mind will be very different if you're sitting in a room full of sunlight. Your state of mind will be very different. So this is what is actually happening. Tamas is like sitting in a dark room. The person would be very anxious also, and there would be a lot of negative thinking, and you will see that such a person is not like free from the toxins of the body because there is a lot of so they're not working on the body health. The body is not able to maintain the health also. If I'm in tamasic quality, I would never get up, go for yogic practices. Yes, so you have to push yourself. You have to put a lot of effort to just, be on the mat. So because of this, the tamasic person is not going to have a good state of, you know, the body, the mind also. And the spiritual nature. There is absolute ignorance of the spiritual nature. Okay, you will come across a lot of people who do not believe in spirituality, or they're just like, life is going on just fine without spirituality. So they're in a state of ignorance that there is something beyond this physical world. So start getting free of black things around you. Yeah, whatever you can get rid of, just at least from your wardrobe, you can remove that thing. So try to minimize. I'm not saying totally suspend black from your life, like ban black, but try to minimize. In food also, um, preservatives, food which has preservatives, or like bread, it is fermented, you know. tea, coffee, alcohol, all of these things, junk food, packed food, everything has tamasic quality in them. So when you eat junk food, after eating that junk food, you feel very lazy and lethargic because it will take so much time to digest. So it's going to like put you in that tamasic quality. Even if you're not before having that, it will put you in that state. So how can you work on your tamas? You can, go into the practice of shat karma, asana. You can become more active. Whatever way you can find to make yourself active, you should go ahead and do that. So best practices are asanas and shat karmas because shat karmas will cleanse the body, and once you do a particular shat karma, the mind actually becomes very in a state where it becomes ready for asana practice. So shat karma will help you to reach a state where you can practice asanas. And when you practice asana, there's so much movement you are giving to the body, so you're leaving no scope for that laziness or lethargy to remain after you go into the practice of asana, because you are, working on your energy, working on increasing the energy. Uh, After the practice, you will not feel lethargic. So, till a particular point of time, at least that energy will remain with you. So now your task for tomorrow, because tomorrow we have off. So starting from today till tomorrow, your task is to observe which quality you are in during the day, and how, when you recognize that, okay, I'm in this quality, how you work towards shifting to sattva. So I've told you how you can work on rajas and tamas, so you can incorporate these activities in one way or the other in your life whenever you are in that situation, and these activities will help you to move towards sattva. Okay, so now let me give you a very simple example. Before that, any doubts, anything you missed? No, all is clear, all is well. Yeah.
Yes, it's clear. Thank you.
Oh, great. So if you want to go ahead, you can go ahead and read chapter 14 of Bhagavad Gita. It's a small chapter. You'll get all the information about these three gunas. So let me go ahead and give you an example of how, like I told you, right, in the previous class also when we were discussing food, I told you how um, sattvic food can turn into rajasic and tamasic. So same way, how an action can turn into other qualities as well. Okay. So a very simple example, whenever we hear the word charity, a very good, good intention comes in the mind, basically, where we are like, okay, if somebody is going for charity, they would be doing something good. And yes, that is actually very, very good when we are doing something like that. So, but once again, sometimes there is a mixture of other qualities also. Okay, so you need to understand this thing. So what will happen is, I'm going for charity, so I can go about it in multiple ways. So first example, I'm going for charity, and I was just walking by the road, and I crossed a person. There was a beggar sitting on the road, and I chose to give him or her the money. And whatever money I had, I was just like, okay, let me donate this much money. It will help this person. So over here, my intention is very good. I am in a sattvic state of mind when I am giving that money to the beggars themselves, or for whatever amount of time that money would last for them. But Now see, there is a mixture of tamas in this. Okay, even though at that point of time, there is a level of tamas that is existing in this thing, because I am totally being ignorant towards how that person is going to utilize that money. Because what happens is, donate to beggars is that they end up misusing it. Like I'm telling you, the probability wise, I'm saying this thing, that the probability of a beggar using it to actually and go for go to buy things like alcohol, things that would not provide nutrition to them but harm them. That tendency, I can say that is
Sorry,
very, very true. I've seen.
you're cutting out and we're missing a few bits here. Sorry.
Okay, is it a little better now?
It's okay when you're talking, then we just lose you for a second. So keep going and we'll see if it stays consistent. Thank you. Sorry.
Moment. Hello,
Hello.
am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. So yeah, I was at that example, like I was telling, at least in India, I have seen this happen, that whenever I give to a beggar, they end up not using the money properly. So there's a level of ignorance. Your intention is pure, but there is a level of ignorance, because even if the person is, using that money properly, uh, the money will run out after a while. Um, it's going to not be able to support them properly. And even if it is, suppose you're making a monthly donation, so it's, and a person who is healthy should ideally find work at that age. If somebody is old, I understand, but if somebody is capable of earning, then they should earn. It is their responsibility to earn if they're existing in the normal world. So they end up abusing that money more than they make good use of it. So your ignorance also comes in over here. So it's sattvic, but there is some tamas in it, mixture of both. Let's turn to the next example where I'm again going for charity, I'm donating. However, what happens is, suppose you believe in something, you believe in a particular cause, and you go and donate over there. So now you're very sure that, okay, at least the organization you are giving to, you have seen them very closely. There's no corruption over there, money is used properly. Okay, very good. You go and donate over there. But now, when you are donating, as you donate, they tell you that, okay, if you donate above this amount, your name will be written on, when we are having this function, your name will be announced, or we will write your name over here and here, and your donation, how much you have donated, will come along with that. So you become very happy that, wow, one thing I'm donating, and second thing, that my name will also be shown over there. So here the intention is good. The intention is to donate for something you believe in. But there is this sense of attachment also, that if I donate, this is going to happen. And suppose they forget to announce your name, or your name is not printed in a particular magazine, in their magazine, with the amount you have donated, or it's not, written wherever they said that they're going to mention it. So a Rajasic person would get hurt over this thing. Yes. So you will see in India also, this happens a lot. Whenever people go and donate in temples, their name is generally written, it's generally shown over there. So it gives a boost to the ego, the pride that, see, I have donated this much. So even though that donation was supposed to be very sattvic in nature, there is a sense of selfishness that comes along with it. So that will keep you hooked, directly hooked to that thing. Because the more, like, sometimes what happens is the more a person donates, the more appreciation they get from the society, that okay, you have donated this much, or okay, this time they donated this much. So I'm not saying that it is true for everyone, but from within what uh, intention, what purpose is there, how much you are attached to that external appreciation, how much you are detached from it. So be very aware of these things when you are doing these things, because this is a mixture of sattvic and rajasic together. Okay. And the third way of donating, when you are on the spiritual path, when you understand that there is a lot of suffering in this world, it's a truth. Even Lord Buddha said this thing, that out of the four truths that he talks of, he says that suffering is a truth. So you realize, you recognize this is going to be there, and not for you, for everyone who exists around you. They're suffering. If you look very closely, everybody is going through something. So when you donate towards something which helps them to, come out of their suffering as a whole, okay, that is when you're giving them a tool to manage something, a tool to, come out of that suffering. You are empowering them basically, and not temporarily empowering them. Like when you donate to a beggar, maybe you donate a particular amount, it lasts them for a while, but after that, um, they will, like, not get food, because now that money has finished, or they won't be able to buy clothes. Clothes also wear out after a time, so every once in a while you need to go and shop, yeah, get new clothes for yourself. So all of these things, all of these donations are good in themselves. However, the highest donation has been said to be in a direction where a person finds um, a tool, a practice which liberates them out of, all the suffering that they face. Because in life, a lot of things are going to come up over and over again. There are a lot of hardships that are going to come your way. So if now, like, you guys know how to meditate, you're learning meditation, you're learning, asana practice, shatkarma practice, pranayama. So the next time you are, in a fix, the next time you are in a situation which is emotionally very tolling, mentally very tolling, physically very tolling, you know what to turn to. So such practices help you to overall navigate through the suffering of life. So when somebody donates towards such a cause, where they know it's going to be good for them and for everyone around them. So there's a sense of selflessness. It's going to be good for the nature around them, for the people around them, for them as well. So when the yogi gets this deep understanding, the yogi also has deep understanding that I cannot have fire around me and be peaceful inside. I have to make the environment also peaceful around me. That is the only way in which I can also be peaceful. So he understands that I am not the world. The world is, like, around me, and I'm just a part of it. So if I take care of the world around me, I am going to be taken care of. Okay. So when you go ahead, put your energy towards such activities like seva or service. So you are going in a sattvic kind of donation. So that is when your sattvic intention will also match your, the sattvic action that you are taking. So both of them will be sattvic, and this is considered to be the highest form of charity. So it can be anything that you believe in, anything you believe will, benefit everyone around you, and hence it will benefit you also. You can go ahead and channelize your energy, and money is also a form of energy only. So channelize money or your energy towards that thing. I'm just taking this common example to make you guys understand like what kind of donation has been considered to be the highest, but it is totally up to you. Whatever understanding you have of this thing, you can go ahead and start to devote your life towards that thing. It would be very helpful for you also on a personal level. Okay. So any doubts in any of this? Any doubt?
No, thank you. It's very clear.
Okay, great. Mhm. Okay, so I suppose everybody who is over here, the concept of trigunas has become clear. So now what you have to do is just keep observing during the day what is happening. Okay, right now just start becoming aware. That will be good. And once you feel that you have that willpower to work on it, then start incorporating these practices so that you can begin to come out of, the influence of rajas and tamas and move towards sattva. Okay. Okay, so let's end our session today then. Can you please give detail about exam? Sorry, the detail about exam, how it will conduct, when it will conduct, and what will be the procedure. Okay, so you generally have two exams. Yeah. You have a theory exam and a practical exam. The theory exam, once you finish the pre-recorded videos, and if you're attending Zoom live sessions, so this will go on for the entire month. So once you finish all of these things, then you can let us know, contact us, and we will send you the theory questions. You can answer those and email those back to us. Okay. And after that, you'll have a practical exam. So once you pass the theory exam, that is when you move ahead to the practical exam, you become eligible for it. And the practical exam has its own format. So once you finish the theory, you have passed. I'll make sure that you become aware of the practical also, what happens in the practical and how you have to prepare. So there's a proper format for it. So it's a 1 hour live exam. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I was just asking, like, as I have taken 200-hour course. So you will not give us dates for exam, or it is on us when we have to take exam. Are there? Sorry, can you repeat once again? I'm saying that like I'm doing 200-hour course. It will end on, I think, 27th or 28th of this month, right? So you will give us date, or it's on us when we have to go for exam? Okay, so for online exams, you have a timeline of 3 months from the day you have started the course. Okay, from the day of your joining, you have 3 months. So however you want to schedule yourself, place, watch the pre-recorded, the Zoom sessions, whatever you want to do in these 3 months, you can gain all that knowledge. And then within these 3 months only, you have to give the theory and practical exam. So the overall timeline is set for you. How you manage it is totally up to you. So means you will not provide us the examination date, or it's just on us. See, once you complete the videos, you contact us for the theory exam. And once you send in the theory exam, that is when, because for the live exam, of course, you will schedule it. So that is when the date and time will be finalized for the practical exam. The theory exam is like you'll just have the questions and you have to answer them and email them to us. So that is how the theory exam works. So date will only be like you will only book a date for the practical exam. Yeah. Okay. So let us end today's session. Yeah. Any more doubts?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's end today's session. We'll chant one time, followed by Chi Shanti. Just gently close the eyes, sit up straight, and observe the breath. And let's just inhale deeply for Om. Shan, shan, shanti. Just observe the vibrations. And join both the palms together and rub both the palms together. Place them on the eyes and very slowly, while blinking and looking at the palms, open up your eyes, come back with a smile, and namaste to everyone. I will see you for your pranayam class today in the evening, hopefully. It's been 2 days since we are not able to have that class. So today, hopefully, I will see you at 3 o'clock for the pranayam class. Okay? So, bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.